Sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device. All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, July the 24th, 2024. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Howdy, folks.
How are you
Peace
two?
and love, brothers and sisters. Peace and love.
Every day. How are you two gents doing on this fine evening?
Yeah.
In a word, it sums it up. I like that. That's good.
I'll say that.
I'll work on that.
Me too.
I can.
Me too.
There you go.
I'm too.
Yeah.
Route
Harry, would you be better if your team was winning?
Sure.
Hey, there's only a game and a half back.
This is true. I mean, they won enough in the beginning of the year. They're keeping them going. I'm not gloating. I'm not saying anything. Believe me, my team sucks. I'm shocked they're winning tonight and last night.
No one else in the division. Toronto's out of it. Tampa Bay's probably a seller. Boston, they're going to fall apart soon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going to cruise along to second in the AL East.
Game's not over yet.
No, it's not. It's
not.
No.
It is. Teams have seen. I've seen some instances, just in clips, because I don't watch any games. But many
or any.
I don't really watch any all the way through, but I watch the highlights.
Yeah.
I watch the Sports Center
or the lowlights, depending on the game you're watching.
Yeah, but it seems to me teams have figured out and are willing to. No one is helping Soto and Judge.
You think?
So they're just like,
we're
not going to pitch. Right, we're not going to pitch to them. We are not going to let them beat us. We're going to.
They live and die by the home run. Their pitching staff gives up way too many home runs, including Cole, and they live by the home run and die by it. They're 7 out of 47. That includes 2 wins in the last 5 games with runners in scoring position. You don't win with that. They suck. They need to keep Judge and Soto. I'll tell you what, though. Judge is great, but he doesn't always show up in the clutch. So
at least we stayed away from the Yankees, eh, John?
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Just kick it right up in the top. Just get it over with. There you go.
I'll tell you what. At this point, the Mets are going to wind up with a better record than the Yankees.
I don't know about that.
There's only an 8-game difference, 7.5 game difference. 7 after tonight if the Mets hold on. That's nothing. The Yankees are sliding. They suck. And fucking Brian Cashman needs to be fired. End of discussion.
All right.
End of discussion.
Thank you very much.
Summed it up. He's so frustrated. That was the end of the discussion.
Mets might get to the playoffs, but they'll never win, as I stated many months ago.
This is true. You did say
they
that.
will not win with Cohen as the owner. So there we go. There's baseball. John, you want to throw anything in?
I want to let's laugh a little bit. We'll talk. There's a couple things on baseball. So, as far as the Mets and the Yankees go, yeah. Well, I'll wrap up that Mets Yankees discussion by saying, last night the Mets were up by 1. Right, they were up by 1. In the bottom of the 9th, and Jake Diekman walked
Dr.
Soto.
Freud?
Yeah, walked Soto. I think it was intentional. I mean, he was just all over the place, and he's as not as great a relief pitcher as he is. He was thrust into the closer role last night because Diaz can't pitch 3 games in 5 days.
Nope.
But in any event, and Judge was up, and he already had an out, and he got Judge looking on strike 3. So it was I was shocked because when Judge came up to the plate, I was like, "Yep, here comes the dinger, the walk-off home run, done." And nope, that was not the case. But hey, I'll honestly be. I am in shock, but I'll honestly be shocked if Harry's right though. I'll honestly be shocked though if the Mets do hold on tonight. They're winning 5-2. It's the top of the 6th. If they do hold on, this will be the first time I think ever, right, that they swept the season series in the Subway Series.
I doubt it.
They've done it before. I don't know. Got to look. We'll have to look on that. Jimmy, get on that.
How many times have they played this year?
Well, no, I'm talking about the whole series, not just one series, not just one like at home.
I know. How many times did they play this year?
Boy, this is the fourth game.
As a Yankees fan, we don't really give a shit. The Mets are just another team. As a
the
Mets
fourth
fan, you guys fucking get hard-ons over this shit.
I don't. Don't look at me. I don't. It's just it's a four games
So
this
they
year.
play 4 games. Yeah,
two at and two at.
Yeah, we talked about this before. How stupid it is that it's an even number of games. Because if anyone does care, then you can end up with a 2-2 split.
Well, that's what normally happens. They split.
Right.
They split each, and they call it.
That's all you can hope for these days with the Yankees. You know, you got to. It's ridiculous.
Right.
The game where Volpe and Verdugo had back-to-back. You know, they finally get some momentum going into the All-Star break, and then they literally throw a game away.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Well, if the Mets win tonight and they sweep the season series, and it's the first time ever, that'll pretty much be the highlight for the Mets this season.
I would imagine so.
You know, what are the Mets now? 52 and 47, something like that?
The Mets are
they're about 4 games over heading into tonight.
Yeah, that's.
Mets are 50. They'll be 53 and 48 if they win tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, compared to where they started, they're doing wonderfully.
Yeah, the Mets are a good team.
They're 7-3 in their last 10.
I mean, there was talks of them unloading people at the trade deadline. Now none of them are going to be available because they're starting to play good. I mean, I honestly am telling you this. What is there? 80 games left? I don't know.
52 and 50, right? Including tonight, 53 and 48.
90, it's 100.
It's 101. So there's 61 games after tonight left.
61 games left. You don't think the Mets can pick up a 7 games on the Yankees the way they're both playing in the next 61 games? I think it's really doable. I do not. If the Yankees do not do something incredible at the trade deadline, which my gut tells me they will not, they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. That's for certain. But what's weird is they still have the second best run differential, and they're only one run back.
Yeah, because it's all about the beginning of the year. It doesn't. You can't. You know, run differential only means the only run differential that matters is the run differential in the last game that you played.
Right. That's true.
And the only team that wins the run differential is the team that wins the last game of the year.
They've scored the most runs in the entire league. They've scored the most runs this year.
They certainly have. And their ace can't beat the Mets. So there you go.
There you go.
And they'll probably be stupid and not pay Soto what he deserves. I mean, the Yankees should just have everybody on an expiring year contract because it's the only time they perform.
Yeah, you would think so. Definitely. I agree.
Well, the Judge is performing.
Judge is doing great. But Judge got paid so much. If Judge didn't perform, they would skin him alive.
Pretty much.
But look, if I'm a Met fan or a Yankee fan, I'm not holding my breath for great things this season. I know everybody else is more bullish on the Mets than I am, of course. But
I got yelled at last night expecting the walk-off. I got yelled at.
The Yankees, you're right. They got to do something, but I'm not holding my breath that they are.
It's true.
If history serves.
Okay.
I mean, the Mets are in the Mets are in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
They're 2 games behind Atlanta for the top wild card spot.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Long season, though.
Yeah, it's a long season, but they're heading in the right direction. And they need to go out and fill some holes.
That's what she said.
Look, there's nothing. I do not ever want to sit here, whatever, and say that I think the Mets are going to end the season better than the Yankees. There's nothing worse that can come out of my mouth other than I really want to go to a Bon Jovi concert or God, don't you love that new Aerosmith song? You know, that's about it.
I got another one for you.
Yeah.
Don't you just want to try this beer?
Yeah. Look, it's made with asparagus root.
Sour pickle beer. There you go.
It's made with asparagus root and
exactly.
All right. Well, this baseball talk is depressing. So
it's not depressing. If you're a Mets fan, I know you're Dr. Doom because I get it because they're they're an organization that traditionally, like, they just don't always suck, which is what makes them bad. But they're 52-48. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They're about to sweep the Yankees, which is going to give everybody that lives in the shitty boroughs something fucking to clap about. You know, every guy in Staten Island will be happy. And
the shitty boroughs.
That's where the Mets fans live. Let's be honest. Come on. You know, so
Queens is the best borough, dude.
It's great. You don't find any. There's no native New Yorkers that are.
I know people that were born and raised in the Bronx that are Mets fans. Get that? I'm not kidding. I do.
And the Bronx is just slightly better than Staten Island, and I was born there.
It's Staten Island without the garbage.
Yeah,
garbage.
Yeah, I mean, trust me. It's a weird. You know, there's Mormons born in the Bronx too. I mean, come on. You know, there's just less of them.
There you go. All right, let's pause on the baseball talk for a minute and let's laugh a little bit. Here we got the didn't open the show with the memes, so let's jump back into them. Here we go. Let's start with number one. All right, this is actually the name of a place. It is I'm Donut. Actually, I'm sorry, it's I'm Donut.
It's not sure.
It's not 100% certain. You walk in there and they're selling phones.
Maybe some days it is, some days it isn't.
Right, exactly.
Maybe it's one of these weird donuts that doesn't quite clarify as a donut.
Yeah, exactly. I love the questioning though. That's the best part of it.
Well, I think somebody hit a question mark instead of an exclamation point.
Well, you know, if this was my store, I think I would make one thing every day, and there would be a pastry. But it would not be a donut most days or some days. And then people who come in, I would ask the question, I'm donut? And if they went, yes, and it was not a donut, then I would charge them double.
There you go. That's how they would have to
do it. If it was a donut and they went, yes, you are a donut, then I would just charge them regular price.
There you go.
I think I would have some fun with it.
So, I'm donut?
I'm donut?
I'm donut? All right. So that's number one. Number two is right here. It's a news headline. I just found it interesting. Woman accidentally joins search party looking for herself.
Sounds like an inspirational quote from TikTok.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Why does she look like Sasquatch?
I don't know. I don't know if that is her or
remember the Steve Austin $6 Million Man Bigfoot. That's who that is.
That's a stock walking through the woods photo.
That's exactly.
Yes, that's a stock Sasquatch.
Now here's the thing.
Stock Squatch.
As usual, this can have many meanings.
Right.
Was she lost in the woods and the search party was looking for her, and she
which is what I took it as.
Right. Yeah. Or was she not lost, but just out in the woods trying to find herself? She brought along some friends.
She's so important. She's so important that there were other people helping her try.
I have not been able to find myself for a couple of years. I've been looking. I need some help. Let's go out in the woods and look for me.
If this was Taylor Swift, she'd have a posse with her. So.
If she was out in the woods looking for herself. She was disconnected with reality and she needed to find herself, and she accidentally joined a search party while doing so.
See, that's the third meaning.
Next meaning.
The search party was not looking for her. They were looking for some lost kids.
Right.
She was looking for herself, and she's like, I'll go with you guys.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll find myself with the lost kids.
Exactly. Maybe it'll help.
Two birds with one stone.
Three. There you go. All right. Moving on to number three. Here we go. This place has beer cave, or they have beer cave. They have pizza ice. They have apparently a propane ATM. I don't know how that works. And they have milk bread.
Well, milk bread's pretty tasty.
Yeah. It's softer.
Well,
it's
I think
creamy.
Actually, I think they have beer pizza.
Okay.
They have ATM milk. They have cave ice, and they have propane bread.
I've never had
a much better selection.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, I'd much rather go to a beer cave than most breweries.
There you go.
There's no kids.
I'd rather have beer pizza than pizza ice.
That's true. Yeah, pizza.
And ATM milk. You bring your own cup. Throw your credit card in there. It comes out a spout.
There
And
you go.
propane bread.
I don't even know, but
don't
whatever you do, don't toast it.
Do you think the cave was supposed to be cake?
Do not make a grilled cheese with.
Do not grill that bread.
And cave ice is just cool.
Well, yeah. I mean,
do not grill propane bread. Cold sandwiches only.
Oh, there you go. Gotta love it. What were you saying, Harry?
I don't know. Next.
You don't even...
Sports, folks, if you're waiting for an actual sports podcast, I don't know. I'd give this another 20
Listen, we
minutes
did
or
the
so.
Yankees and the Mets. That should hold them off while we goof
That's
for
it.
25 minutes.
Exactly. All right, moving on.
We could have been done by now.
Moving on to number 4, we have this is interesting. I found it. Child flavored toothpastes. I don't know if I know. Just no.
Do I get to choose what kind of child?
Right.
Because they do all taste a little different.
Tread lightly. I mean, it's.
Was this someone that just discovered the hyphen and is now fooling around with it? And, you know what I mean? Like when you learn a new punctuation sign and you want to try it out different ways.
Exactly.
Not sticking in the middle of these 2 words.
There you go. You might have wanted to rewrite that line, but child flavored toothpaste. I don't know what that would taste like. I don't know. I don't want to know what that would taste like. Anyway, moving on to number what?
Probably like cave ice.
A little bit like cave ice. Moving on to number. I wonder what this tastes like. Number 6. That would be soft crap salad.
Yeah.
No. Just no. You?
Yeah, you would think that would. Well, it's easy to chew, I assume.
Right. I mean, they have Tom Yum Goong. They have pineapple fried rice. They have pad thai, luang pang. So it's clearly a Thai place. But soft crap salad, I've never had. I can't say as I've ever had soft crap salad. Hard crap salad is a different story. Yeah. But soft crap salad, not so much.
What's the line from Happy Gilmore? I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
No. That's not what I said. There you go. All right. Moving on to number 6. This is interesting too. Grilled eel drizzled on rice with sweat sauce.
And typos.
And how do you grill eel and then drizzle it on rice?
Yeah, you really grill it to the max.
Yeah, carefully.
You got to grill it until it becomes liquid. Yeah.
And depending if the fan is broken, this could be literal.
This is true.
You got the guy working over a hot grill.
Right.
I think grilled eel on rice drizzled with sweet sauce is what they're going after.
Yeah, but if it's, like I'm saying, if it's really hot, it could be sweat sauce.
This is true.
I think I'd rather eat the sweat sauce than the grilled eel.
It's depending on where the sweat came from. I'm with you.
Know exactly where it came from.
I know. Yeah. All right.
It ain't gonna be great.
It ain't gonna be good. All right, moving on to number 7. This one, it's interesting information on this one. It says Uranus has a weird infrared aurora. I never looked, but it might.
What is an aurora?
I don't know, but it's a weird infrared one on Uranus. So.
Well, at least it's good for something.
You'll know when you see it. It's almost like it's talking to you.
Exactly. I love the Uranus jokes. Gotta love it.
These are not even dad jokes anymore. I don't know what these are.
No, these aren't
grandpa jokes.
These are old. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's wrap it up with number 8. We don't have 9 or 10 tonight. Let's wrap it up with number 8. I would definitely not use this. Here we go. Toilet not in use. It fires sewage at people.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll go in the woods. I'll be over here.
I think they're being honest.
I'm sure they are.
Probably.
Yeah.
And because some people will go ahead and use the toilet anyway. If it's just a toilet not in use, they try and use it anyway.
Yeah. Right. Believe me, you don't want to test this theory.
No.
Right. No. That's my question. Does it really do that? Or did they just write that to keep people from?
But you know what? Even if there was only a 5% chance that this was true, I don't want to try it.
Depends on how bad you got to shit.
Well, you know what? Outside is an option. All right.
Yeah.
Or listen, you might make your deposit and then just not flush.
True.
I mean, I'm assuming the firing of sewage has to do with the flushing.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right.
Unless you're shitting into a cannon.
Unless somebody's controlling
which I would probably avoid.
It's like, hold on. Why? There's a ladder to get up to that toilet seat. This is weird. What's that guy doing?
Light that little candle on fire over there. I need some light.
Exactly. All right. That'll suffice with our memes.
There we go.
Alrighty.
There you go.
Memes.
Everywhere meme.
Only 4 Asian food memes today.
Only 3.
3.
Yeah.
Well, unless you call the toilet sewage at the end.
Yeah. How was that Asian food?
It's not. It's the after effect.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3. Only 3. No, 2. 2. We only had 2.
There you
only
go.
2.
We're getting better.
We are getting better. All right. Pete, you had some stuff on baseball.
Yeah, a couple things. They're gonna go back to they're gonna change the All-Star uniforms, right?
I'm hoping so.
They're not gonna keep doing that.
Still won't make me watch it.
Boring. I know the marketing people thought. I actually would be interesting to see if anybody bought an All-Star uniform of their favorite player because they're just terrible. But why? I mean, can't we just make them wear the same pants, white for the home team, gray for the road team, and then put on the jersey of the team you're on?
Yeah, just wear your whole uniform like they used to, or who cares?
You can do that too. That's fine.
Look, if
that was one of the great.
If the All-Star uniforms weren't so ugly, people wouldn't be. I don't mind it. Basketball doesn't wear their own uniforms; they have a team uniform. So does football. So why does baseball have to be so?
Because they're horrible looking. Baseball cannot get uniforms.
All right, so if the
regular uniforms this season are terrible.
Let me ask you a question. If the uniforms were better, would you have as much of an objection? Just make a better uniform.
I think that part of the allure of baseball is seeing your guy from your team playing in the All-Star game because everybody's there, right? Every team has one player by decree. And when you put them all in the same uniform, they lose some of that identity. To me, that was one of the really cool things about the All-Star.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I kind of agree. I mean, the caps were the differentiation, right? The caps were all like each the center emblem. The whole cap was the same, but the logo for each team was in the center of each cap.
Right.
So that
was right. Nobody else does it. You're right. But this is I don't know.
When was the last time you watched an All-Star game in baseball?
A week ago.
I don't know. A week ago.
Yeah, I haven't watched one since I don't know the early 2000s.
Yeah,
20 years easy.
Well, let me throw some stuff at you here concerning the All-Star game. This is from John Heyman.
John Heyman
spells his name without an H. His first name.
His first
Jon. He's John.
Heyman.
He writes for the Post, our favorite newspaper in the world, and he's got 8 ideas to restore the Major League Baseball game to its luster because nobody watches it. And
let me guess, John Heyman's also an old man.
Of course he is. So let me throw his
older, not old, older.
He's pretty old. He's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
So let me throw you his ideas and we can discuss. All right. Number 1, Ohtani, Judge, Soto, Bryce Harper, Ronald Acuna Jr., and other legit superstars should play the whole game. These are the guys that were turning out. I'm not going to defend it because I don't agree with him.
No,
but
I don't agree with that.
I'm going to go halfway and say maybe they should play more.
More, yeah.
Maybe
not the whole game, but more.
Innings.
Yeah.
Maybe they should play 4 innings or 5 innings so that we get to see them a couple of at-bats.
I'll agree there. I'll agree with that. Yeah, not the whole game, more than what they are.
Yeah, he says they should play the whole game, but
Harry?
Is Harry frozen?
Don't care.
No, I see him. Don't care. All right.
Don't fucking care.
I probably all agree.
With my luck, they'll force this, and then Aaron Judge will get injured in the 4th.
Then, right, until somebody gets hurt. Yeah, until somebody gets hurt, and then they'll. Selection process, we need to fix it.
John Heyman should pick both teams.
His critique is the Padres have 5 All-Stars, and the Mets only have 1. And he also had a problem with because there not being more discussion about Nimmo and Lindor being there in addition to or instead of Alonso. Yeah,
no, I agree with that, because if you compare, everybody says it was the first couple months of the season why Lindor and Nimmo weren't involved. Who cares?
Lindor and Nimmo All-Stars this year? Fuck
no. Hold on. Time out. What he was saying is, Pete, let me know if I'm right, because I did read a couple of things on this. The 5 All-Stars that the Padres had, 3 of them didn't have as good in numbers as Lindor and Nimmo at the time of the All-Star game.
Okay, so then they all really suck.
He's saying their numbers are better, but Lindor got off.
Or they voted on by the fans. Give us some background. Were they
fans, and it's fan vote and right.
His issue is with the
because the starters sometimes
his issue is with the player voting.
Player voting, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he says the real issue is not the fans voting, but it's the player voting, because they don't look at all the stats. They don't really know about what these other guys are really doing, and they say they're actually less engaged than fans who look at the stats, or not just the.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. He says the fans know more about
where that is true.
So, so there was that. He said also employ a statistical system for reserves.
Okay.
So let the reserves earn it too. And don't insist on a set number of each position. If there's 4 deserving shortstops, so be it. Put them on.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, don't require a player from every team. If a team is tanking, they don't deserve an all-star.
Yeah, they don't do that in basketball.
Yeah.
They don't do it in football.
Okay, he says, dump the uniforms. Okay. This one, I don't know how you do it, but he says, get the true sluggers to do the home run derby. Why are we watching a home run derby without Aaron Judge? Why are we watching a home run derby?
Because it's been proven to fuck up your swing for many players.
Without Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if it's been proven.
It has been.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
I don't think you can make him do it anyway.
Yeah. If a guy does it, if a slugger
did Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio ever participate in a home run contest? Did Reggie Jackson?
I don't know. Home run derby is how old?
Yeah. How about get rid of the home run derby?
Could do that too, but it's a fan favorite.
It's the only thing people like. Yeah, just like the dunk contest. So should you make Kevin Durant be in the dunk contest? Should you make?
Well, no, he's not.
I think you should actually. Yeah, 1985 was the first year for the home run derby.
Yeah. So, let me along those lines. Here, one of his other points is, why don't we add a skills competition?
Well, they used to do that. Bunting,
hit placement, throwing, running.
They used to have all that, but you'd have to dig up the remains of Phil Rizzuto for anybody to bunt.
All right, this one is, he says, use aluminum bats for the home run derby.
Oh, jeez. So every ball goes out?
And also a way of really having some hand injuries. That'd be good.
Yeah, well, that was the point. Is if somebody hits a rocket line drive and you got kids running around the outfield, one of them is going to maybe take a baseball that's moving at 150 miles an hour to the chest or whatever. So, and pick managers based on current year performance rather than last year's World Series.
That I can agree with. I can agree with that.
Again, I don't know how you pick them, but I mean, there's generally, there's got to be some group where there's a general consensus about.
Yeah, although that is a tradition, right? The two managers from the World Series.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one at all.
Yeah, the tradition. I stay with the tradition. That's fine.
I think he might have put that one in because Bochy put Judge up fourth, and there was a possibility that he wouldn't have gotten to face Skeens.
There you go. So then,
make the game. Number 8 is make the game count again.
So Luis Arias, who is a San Diego backup player, is hitting 311, 733 OPS. That's a little better than any of the Mets. Let's see who else was in there for San Diego. Jackson Merrill. Let's see, 282 with a 756 OPS. That's 40 points higher than
these guys full-time players.
Yeah. So I know those are the only two reserves from San Diego. The two starters, which were voted on by the fans who know everything, or the one starter was Jerkson Profar, who is hitting 300 with an 866 OPS. So I think he deserved to start. So I don't. Maybe there's a pitcher that's San Diego. Let's see. Robert Suarez.
I think his point was about the Padres and the Mets only having one, and I think his point was also you could look at
every Padre player that is way better than anybody on the Mets. Way better. Okay, not even close.
Well, let me read you what he actually wrote. Something's wrong when the Padres have 5 All-Stars and the Mets only 1. The West Coast bias is a powerful thing, but that is ridiculous. So maybe that wasn't about comparing those two. Then he says, Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Lindor, who's tied for 3rd in WAR with Bryce Harper, should be here. Lindor ascribed his absence to needing to have a better start and Nimmo needing to be more popular. In reality, it's the system.
Nimmo's hitting 237. Great player. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be upset if he made the All-Star team, but his numbers don't match up to anybody.
Here's the other thing too, right? Those numbers are skewed because they're all hitting like shit in the beginning of the season. So they were all in the hundreds. They were all their batting averages were so far down. Yeah. So now they're at 280, 290 in the last month and a half, 2 months, and so now their averages in the 230s. That's what
he might have been kind of. I base it on what somebody's done at the point for the whole season, not for a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know if he was comparing.
I'm not sure what he was comparing.
Their numbers to Alonso's and things.
I mean, I think his point is that there's certain teams that get they're not exceptional teams with 5 All-Stars. I mean, San Diego is not the worst team in baseball, but they're certainly not the best.
Right. No.
They're a 500 team and they had 5 or 6 All-Stars. I get that.
All right. So interesting. Yeah. I don't know. A couple things that we agree with and some we disagree.
There you go.
I mean, my take on the All-Star game this year is that, and this does prove your point, I think, with the fans, a lot of the big markets did not. I mean, Judge and Soto, anybody who says that those two didn't deserve to start doesn't know anything about baseball. But there was a lot of, you got somebody from Baltimore, from Kansas City, from the Angels, from Cleveland, Houston, Milwaukee. No, I'm sorry. That's why. How is Milwaukee in the American League? Yeah, unless we're going back. Anyway, there was a lot of diversity. I think now, granted, I do realize that, there is having to pick one player from each team does maybe rob somebody else who's more deserving. But, is Vladdy Guerrero Jr. the best first baseman in the American League this year? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I think he was looking at it from the standpoint of how do we get more fans to watch? How can we change the game so that people will be more interested?
I think you should put ghost runners on all three bases in every single inning.
well, what was the viewership? How many people watched the game versus the home run derby?
6. I think 6 people watched the game.
6 or 7 million. I think it was 7 million.
Okay, is that good? I mean, I think that's pretty good.
No,
right?
it's terrible.
Okay.
No.
It's just
that's the point. It's been going down and down and down. And he's saying we need to do something or some things, or else to give it at least some relevancy.
Yep.
That was his point.
There you go. One thing
honestly, I'm kind of in line with you, Harry. I really don't watch much of it. I'm more prone to watch the home run derby, or at least the first part of it, than I am the All-Star game.
I have 2 things on that on home run derby.
I mean, the only reason why I like the All-Star game is it gives me a 3 or 4 day break from fucking bashing my head against the wall watching the Yankees.
Okay. Yeah.
All
right, what do you got, Johnny?
Home run derby. 2 things. 2 points of interest on the home run derby there. One, Pete Alonso needs to not go to the home run derby anymore. Just stop. Just stop. It was great. It was fun when he won those, and he was doing what he was doing, and everything was great. But yeah, it's almost as if I'm getting the opinion. This is maybe just me. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that he feels that he needs to be there because he's the polar bear and he's the home run hitter, and he didn't hit anything. I mean, he had one of the fewest amount of home runs in the first round of anybody that.
Who won it this year?
What's his face from the Dodgers that used to be on the Blue Jays?
Who won the slam dunk contest this year?
What's his face from the Dodgers that used to be on the Blue Jays?
Yeah, there you
Obi
go.
Toppin.
Obi Toppin, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could have told me, Isaiah Kinky Falafel won it, and I'd be like, oh, great. Who cares?
I know,
but I think that's
some people do care.
All right.
Well,
so then maybe you should just have the home run derby,
but it's not supposed to have the meaning of a regular game. It's supposed to be a fun little break.
As Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah. Where we get to see stuff that we don't usually get to see in the regular season, like a home run derby and
right.
A game where all those players on the field at the same time. So
agreed, 100%. One other thing that we don't get to see that often in the regular season, or at all in the regular season, is the rendition of the national anthem that we had for the home run.
Yeah,
holy cow!
Well, before you get into that, Major League Baseball home run derby draws lowest audience since 2014.
There you go. And what was so bad about 2014, or it just happened to be the lowest audience?
I don't know.
Maybe 10 years.
They're just saying it's
lowest audience in the last 10 years. Yeah, I got you. Fair enough.
But it's not off by, a lot. Here's the other thing is that, all right, if you want to get young viewers, what is their viewing habits? And why is the All-Star game and the home run derby not on network television? Because where I think the drop in viewership is? I think it's with older people.
You think?
Because you spend 45 minutes searching for when it starts and what channel it's on. And I don't have that one fucking app.
Yeah, maybe got a point there.
Well, now here's something interesting. 7.6 million viewers for the All-Star game. Across the various, here's the problem right here. Across the various Fox Sports platforms.
There you go.
What you just said. Should be in one place that everybody has access to.
Right.
Which was an increase of 6% over the 2023 All-Star game.
There you go. So it's moving in the right direction.
What's up?
So something had people watching.
You know why? Guess where viewership was up 6%? San Diego.
Maybe. Anyway, back to the home run derby national anthem.
Yeah, sorry.
That was bad.
Well, so what? She was wasted. Now is that it?
Well, that's what they're saying.
I feel bad for her. So.
She's saying she was drunk. I've heard from a few people saying that they think that because she's one of these singers that needs auto-tune, right? She actually literally sings with auto-tune all the time. All right, and her tracks, and her albums, everything else.
I looked up a couple of
even live
performances of hers, and she seemed like she had a decent voice, but it wasn't particularly powerful, and it wasn't kind of it was nothing.
Is she hot?
She's young.
Yeah,
early 20s.
But she's been nominated for. She's got 4 Grammy nominations as a songwriter.
There you go.
None as a performer. She's I think got 3 albums out. So she's sort of a known name in the business, I think, for her songwriting. But
I think Dan Yankees won an Emmy or a Grammy. So I mean,
I was trying to figure out why they brought her because she's
she didn't win. She was just nominated.
She's a pseudo country singer, but she's not from Texas. She's recording in Tennessee, but she's from Michigan. So I didn't know the connection.
Yeah,
where was the home run derby? Texas, Arlington, or whatever.
Yeah,
but, and it's funny. I was talking with a friend about whether it's funny or not, and whether you should laugh or not. And at first, I started to feel bad, but it's only badly singing the national anthem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's embarrassing, but it's not like getting caught on video using the N-word or slapping your child who's misbehaving. You know what I mean? It's not anything really terrible. You fucked up the anthem, whether it's because you were drunk or not. If you have problems with alcohol, I hope she gets help if that's the case.
Right.
But it was fucking hilariously bad.
It was horrible, horrible bad. But like I said,
it was bad karaoke bad.
I've read a couple of people had said, I read a few things that said that with this auto-tune thing, that they actually had auto-tune on her voice, and because she was pitchy, it was bringing the note. It wasn't zeroing in the note to the right note. It
made it worse.
It made it worse. Right. Exactly.
So she could have blamed auto-tune.
She could have, and she blamed alcohol. Maybe she was drunk, which is why she was pitchy, and then auto-tune even screwed it up more.
Yeah. I think you need to input the amount of drink she had into auto-tune, and they should be able to adjust
and see how it affects auto-tune.
Probably not a bad idea.
Yeah. Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take that no one's going to agree with me, but get rid of the national anthem. I don't need it, and get rid of the song in the 7th inning. God bless America. Just get rid of them. I don't need them.
What about I
don't need it.
I remember having a huge argument on the radio with my partner about God Bless America replacing
Take Me Out to the
Ball Game, and all the symbolism behind that.
Well, that'll be a conversation for another day. But we can all agree it was a horrible. It was probably the worst. Roseanne Barr's rendition of the national anthem was probably
but she sort of leaned into that, so
I think that that was very tongue in cheek, and
that's what I mean. Because of that fact, it wasn't as bad. Because
she knew she was not a singer, and she said, "Okay, I'm just gonna go way over the top." And then
the drunk has nothing to do with it. Whitney Houston was high on crack and drunk and sweating like Patrick Ewing in overtime when she sang, the best version that people say ever. So come on, you just some people need to be vetted better. That's all.
That's true.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Bad.
Look, Lemmy's never sang the national anthem. Rest in peace. I mean, we're just getting the wrong people to sing the national anthem. Come on.
I agree. So, anyway.
They thought, again, why did they do this? Because they thought they would, you don't understand it, but they thought they would pull in a younger audience because she probably trends very high on social media.
Probably.
Yeah, well, and she is a country singer-songwriter, so I guess.
He had me for a minute there.
Yeah. I mean, if you want people to watch the American League All-Star game, then
I was like, she's not that bad a person, I'm sure.
Get Taylor Swift or J-Lo or Beyonce to sing the national anthem or perform it. Let them perform at the 7th inning stretch. That's how you get people to watch the whole game. Are you listening? Why don't you listen to me, people? This is how you do it. Okay?
Personally, I think Log should play at the 7th inning stretch.
And then no one will wait around. Yeah, and I'll just be yelling at somebody for not
big old neck between the top and the bottom of the inning. I mean, come on.
There you go. We're available. We're available if you need us.
There you go. All right. Anything else on baseball there, Peter?
Well, we've got a quick baseball. Are they for real?
Let's
a quick are they for real, which is baseball
driven, baseball oriented. So I think we should do that. Let's do that. Let's do that right now.
What is real?
Here we go.
How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah.
Are you for real? For real? For real? For real?
Are they for real?
What is real?
All right. Are they for real? Baseball edition. It's a quick one, unless I decide to drag it out, which I won't. Probably. So that, those Toronto Blue Jays, picked by more than one or two pundits, and maybe be in the playoffs, and certainly some of them are maybe win the American League East.
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't worked out so well. The Blue Jays are, well, they're not so good.
Yeah.
And the talk now is they're going to be sellers as we come across, about a week from the trade deadline.
No Vladdy, though.
Well, that's the question. So, when we talk about real,
they said no today. It was
right, because no one in baseball has ever said one thing and then done something else.
Right.
That's never happened. So, being for real can be lots of things. In this case, we're going to talk about who is which tradable on the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'll give you a list, is the most for real in terms of likely to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to put Chris Bassett on that list, just because he's a pitcher, and he's having kind of a 500 year.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put Vladdy on that list.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put Justin Turner on that list, who's not having such a great year, but he's Justin Turner.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to put George Springer on that list, who statistically is not having a good year, but in the last month or so is hitting about 300 and seems to have come alive and gotten back to being the George Springer that we know and love. And last but not least, although he's expected to be out for a couple of weeks more, mid-August, I believe is the projection, we're going to put Bo Bichette on the list of tradables.
Boba Fett?
Boba Fett, yeah.
Boba Fett.
And its son, Bo Bichette.
Right.
So you got Bassett, Vladdy, Springer, Turner, and Bobo.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the most for real in terms of likely to be traded?
Turner.
I'm going to say George Springer, actually. His contract.
Yeah, but nobody wants that. Turner's cheap, and he's got playoff experience, and he can play first
He's
and
a playoff
third
hero in the past.
DH, yeah.
True.
He's come up big.
And I think they're going to hold on to Springer. Basically, I've been watching this. Trust me, as a Yankees fan, this is all I watch these days. So I watched, them grounded to double plays with the bases loaded, and who is available and who can they actually get? Because I would love to see Vladdy Guerrero play in first base, and we can give Anthony Rizzo the old Booderooski. I would love it more than anything else. Ben Rice, the hero, hitting 200. No, Vladdy Guerrero at first base changes the complexion of the Yankees immensely. And when Stanton gets back, that's a 2-3-4-5 of Soto, Judge, Guerrero, and Stanton. That changes everything. But Sounds like Guerrero's off the trading block. I think if somebody makes a move for Springer, they're going to have to do some magic math to be able to justify the contract that he signed. I think Turner I think he's only on a 1-year contract, and I think you could probably get him as a placeholder without having to give up too much. Right. So that's what I think. I don't think Bichette's going anywhere. Now, as far as Bassett, that's interesting. His ERA is actually not that bad. I think I would.
It's under 4, right?
Yeah. If I was the Yankees, for instance, and they're not asking for a ton for Chris Bassett, I think he could fill a hole. I also think that if you needed him to, he could come out of the bullpen. But I think the biggest value, which is what makes him most tradable from a team receiving him, and I don't think he's adding much to the Blue Jays this year. I think is Turner.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I guess I kind of agree. I just wonder if Bassett will be a little bit more for real because he's a pitcher. And I think didn't he come out of the bullpen for the Mets a few years ago, John?
Bassett, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was a starter, but he's done work out of the bullpen.
Right.
I mean, he's a 500 pitcher, which again, record doesn't mean that much.
It's his ERA's. His ERA is 3.71 and his career ERA is 3.51. So he's right.
He's had 9 quality starts out of 20. That's almost 50%, which is pretty good. He's pitched 114 innings, so his innings per game is pretty high, which is also something that helps. Because sometimes you take those losses because you pitch deeper into the game. So I think Bassett again. What is he getting paid? What's his contract? And what are you going to get for him? I because he's a starting pitcher, and I think they actually have him on a multi-year deal, and because he's probably got the best ERA out of any of their starters, I think the Blue Jays will probably hold on to him. I don't think the Blue Jays think they're a lost cause. I think what the Blue Jays are trying to do is add volume over, if they can get rid of a big name and get 2 or 3 prospects for them, then I think they'll do it.
You think they'll? You think they might let Chad Green go?
Chad Green's interesting. He drives me nuts sometimes, but he's proven to be a reliable pitcher, and I don't know if is he hurt right now or no?
He was. He was.
Okay.
Not now.
Yeah, but I mean, what has he pitched? 20 innings this year? His ERA is pretty good, I think.
It's almost 30. His ERA is under 2. It's 1.82.
Yeah. So I think you're going to get more pitching-wise for a Chad Green than you are for a Chris Bassett. Mm-hmm. How many people need relievers right now?
A lot.
Yeah.
So Chris,
I could see him back in New York, just not in the Bronx.
Well, I could see him, and I could see him back with the Yankees.
Bassett's got 1 year left, worth 20.
Yeah, he's expensive.
Million?
He's expensive.
Yeah, 3 years, $63 million deal in 2022.
Yeah, so that's why I think a lot of the teams that are going to be competing, they're already usually up there in the payroll area, and maybe they'll take it on.
But it is a 1 year deal.
Yep.
There you go.
So, somebody who's looking to get it done this year will bring.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with Harry. It's probably. But
yeah, I think Turner. You're right. Probably Turner.
Turner.
Looking at these numbers, Turner's probably the guy who goes.
Yeah, and Vladdy's gotten hot.
Plus, COVID's coming back.
He's back to being Vladdy. So.
Yeah, and COVID's coming back, and we know how Turner. He wins World Series is with COVID.
That's true.
When he's got the COVID.
Didn't he win in Houston too?
No.
I don't know if he had COVID.
Who else did he play for?
Mets.
That's it.
Mets, Dodgers, and
Dodgers. Remember the Dodgers won. So he was running around on the field without his mask.
And I thought for some reason he had another World Series, but
no.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it for Are They For Real? So
that's
Mr.
all
Turner, but you're going somewhere.
You're going somewhere, Mr. Turner.
Expert panel says you will not be a Blue Jay at the end of the year.
Yeah, He
Cody
actually
was with the Yankees.
he played in Boston last year. That's what you're thinking. He played in
Okay.
Boston.
Oh
last year.
yeah.
And his first year of his career, he came up late in the season and he played in Baltimore. But he was at the Mets for 4 years. So, but yeah, there you go. All right. Are they for real? All right, cool. Good job. That was a good one. Short baseball, one question. Nice thought. Worked.
The Yankees tonight with runners in scoring position 0 for 7. Let's add that up to another game here. So 7 out of 47. Now we are 7 out of 54. There we go.
Top of the 8th. Mets are winning 7-2.
7 for 54 in the last 6.
Mm-hmm. There you have it. There you have it. All right. There you go. How do we feel about the upcoming football season? That's what I want to know.
What?
I can watch it because I know my team will be done by the 4th week. So
You think that long?
maybe.
Football.
Oh, football.
I'm a Jets fan, baby. I want to see how they implode this year. But there's so much hope.
How are you a Jets fan wanting to see how they implode?
Well, I want him to win. But I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers is a black cloud. Even though I want him to win, I want him to win a Super Bowl with the Jets.
That would be. I got to be honest with you. That would be.
All right. Here's
amazing.
In all honesty, all I really want out of this year is for the Cincinnati Bengals to beat Kansas City in the AFC Championship game and then win the Super Bowl. That's all I want.
There you go. What's your opinion on the Hassan Reddick situation, Pete?
Typical Jets.
Is it though?
Well, yeah.
Or is it him just saying that? Hey, I want to raise.
There's a reason why Philly let him go,
and they didn't get the deal done right then.
There's a reason why Philly let him go.
Yes, there is, and this is it. But they didn't get the deal done right then, and the longer you don't do it, the more whatever can get into his head, or whether it's purely him. And now they're in the situation that they're in now.
Right. Well, let me ask you this: do you think there will be ever be a Le'Veon Bell situation again, where somebody just says, "Screw this, I'm sitting out"?
Yeah,
of course. Think that'll ever happen again, where they just blow off money, sit out a season,
especially towards their 2nd or 3rd contract when they already have so much money in their bank account. Sure. Yeah.
Well, listen.
I see.
Going to find Reddick for every
50
day
grand.
he doesn't show up. I think
$50,000 a day.
$50,000 a day. So it'd be nice to have him on the team. Make their
he had a 40% decline last year from the year before. So should he take a 40% pay cut?
He wants a 40% raise.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying he wasn't as good by significant. 40-something% less sacks than the year before.
What they should do is they should tell him, look, we're going to give you the 40% raise, but we're going to make it commensurate with your decline from the year before, so you're making the same money.
He wants a long-term
more
contract.
money, and he said no. And I guess what he wanted was a lot more, and the Jets said we need to see you perform, at least in part because he had something of a decline.
Right.
And supposedly Reddick said, yeah, that's fine. And then he decided not to show up for camp, and now he's holding out. So just keep finding him. You didn't have him before. Your defense was pretty good. I think you would make them better.
Of course he would.
But just keep finding him. And
boy, Philly had a good offseason, didn't they? You got to give their front office credit. They made themselves a better team. Mm-hmm. I mean, the only thing, the only outcome that would be absolutely horrible this year would be to watch Saquon Barkley win a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. There would be nothing worse than that.
Rush for 2,500 yards, set a single season rushing record, and win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah. You're right on that note. You're right. That would be bad. But on that note, what's your thoughts? Stay with the Jets for a second. What's your thoughts on this whole scuttlebutt, if you will, of Aaron Rodgers wanting to bring Davante Adams to New York.
As long as they don't get slammed with tampering, which means as long as they do it on the sly like everyone else does and don't get caught.
Right.
Look, if the Raiders are good this year, then Davante Adams will be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Raiders are not, then he'll want to go somewhere else and he'll want to come to the Jets. And the Jets, look, you're all in on Aaron Rodgers. You've done everything to this point.
The talk is that they want to get him for this year. Like talk the Raiders into a trade now.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen unless the Raiders are bad.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair enough.
Unless Adams is going to slow roll it and try and force a trade, in which case the Jets would do that anyway.
Right.
You're all in on Aaron Rodgers. You've done everything that he's wanted so far. Why are you going to say no? We're going to draw the line on a talented receiver like Davante Adams.
Right, exactly.
These guys love each other and they've had success. So
if I told you right now that this time next month, Hassan Reddick will be signed, that situation will be taken care of, and the Jets will have made a trade for Davante Adams, and he'll be starting wide receiver along with Wilson and everybody else on the Jets. How would you feel about the season at that point? How would you feel about Tyrod Taylor taking the Jets to the Super Bowl?
I'd have to see who's involved in the trade. The good Wilson might be involved in that trade.
No. Cash and some rookies and some prospects and whatever.
Why would Tyrod Taylor be taking the Super Bowl?
I was a joke.
Rodgers is going to get hurt.
Right. Pete understood what I meant.
He'll have more of a chance than he would have had without them. Let's put it that way.
All right. Real quick, don't think about it too much, but who's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Pete?
I was kidding, by the way, when I said that.
I'll say the Niners are finally going to get it done.
All right.
Actually, I'll go you one better. The Detroit Lions are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh God, I think they're going to have the fall off of the year.
That's a sexy pick. Well,
I
who
think
do you think?
I think the Cincinnati Bengals.
Bengals.
They finally get it done. You think?
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, we're going to do our picks in not 2 weeks.
I think the two teams that fall off the most this year are the Lions and the Texans.
The Texans, I don't see them falling off. I don't see the Texans falling off yet.
They're going to be a little chokerooski.
No, I don't believe so.
I
think you're wrong.
All right, football. So we got like 6 months until that happens, right?
Yeah, we got 6 months. We'll
Super
talk,
Bowl, right?
That's all more about that. It's all that really matters.
We are going to have fun. I'm giving you guys fair warning. We are going to have fun with our picks this year.
Oh God, beaten by the Coins
We are
get
doing
really
something-
complicated.
You
could be up by 65 wins, but on the last week,
it's going to be very simple, but it's going to be radically different.
Does picking a winning team have anything to do with winning the coin this year? Or no?
No.
I don't understand the question.
I feel like every year it's less and less about how you by actually picking more winners than everybody else. I just feel like there's going to be more.
This is going. This is going
weighted
directly. No wait. It's you
Good.
pick winner.
Nice,
and it counts. It's going to be fun. And I think it's going to be something that no one else has ever done.
Interesting.
Which surprises me because
I'm intrigued.
I thought of this idea last year, a little too late because
we have to make our picks on the air nude.
There you go.
Well, that's one part of it. There's another part that no one's ever done either. But
yeah. By the way, you look like you look like a floating head and hands because you.
Oh yeah, I got the dark blue. I got the navy shirt on. I think it's going to be fun.
All right, I'm looking forward to it.
Let me throw a couple things at you. It's sort of out of the blue.
All right.
Is it just me? And it probably is. Or is anyone else sick to death of hearing about the USA Olympic men's basketball team.
Yeah, I don't really
And
care.
the
I hope they lose.
comparisons to the dream team and how they're having close games with everybody and they only beat South Sudan by a point. But who fucking cares?
I want Serbia
Get to
to
the
win.
Olympics, and if you lose, we've got something to talk about.
Right. 100%. 100%.
They're not going to lose.
To paraphrase Allen Iverson, we ain't talking about the Olympic Games. We talking about warm-ups. Not a game, not the Olympics. We're talking about warm-ups. Just warm-up games.
How about the WNBA, where it was? Didn't the WNBA non-Olympic choices beat the Olympic team the other day?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I think you're right. But I mean, enough. I know it's a slow time of the year, but for fuck's sake, do we need a blow by?
Do you know why we're talking about the U.S. Olympic basketball team? Who is the one person that gets talked about? He's just having an amazing couple games so far. Oh my God, it's like
LeBron's from the jaws of defeat.
LeBron,
right. Yeah, it's all about LeBron. ESPN loves LeBron James. Loves. The only thing they love talking about more is the Dallas Cowboys. LeBron and the Cowboys. That's what they.
And and as far as I heard the other day, he's one of the torchbearers.
Yes, Friday. Him and Coco Gauff.
Yep. So there you go. By the way, quick update: the Mets are now leading the Yankees 11-2.
There you go. 11-2. By the way, this was the ace, last year's Cy Young Award winner.
Well, no, the last 5 runs were given up by.
Well, I know
Tim Hill and Caleb Ferguson.
Yeah, these are the big names. Big names. I'll take some of those underperforming Padres any day. Pete is gone,
and only 1 out. And Nimmo's on first, and JD Martinez is at the plate.
Yeah, make the playoffs and make some noise. I told you this all year. The Mets have a good team.
Where did Pete go?
Are they better than he froze up? So I think he's coming back on. Are they better than Philly? No, Philly's good. Phillies are the best team in baseball. Dodgers have a lot of injuries, but I think the Mets are going to make some noise.
We will see.
We'll see what they do in the trade deadline. Wouldn't that be something if the Mets outperform the amazing Brian Cashman and the New York Yankees during the trade?
It would be interesting.
All right. So what was the answer? Not just me that doesn't care about the.
No, I don't give.
I don't care.
Basketball team. At least let's get to the Olympics.
There's absolutely nothing to talk about in sports right now. Colin Cowherd today, I think, was just asking that guy who sits across from him the same question over and over again for 25 minutes. I think they talked about cookie recipes. There is nothing going on in sports right now except the Yankees are tanking and the Olympics are coming. Did the Olympics start tonight?
Friday's the opening.
No, Friday. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let me throw another little something at you here. Tiger Woods, British Open, and a few other tournaments. Not so good. He didn't make the cut at the British most recently. And Colin Montgomery, America's least favorite Scotsman.
He sounds like one of the Darrens from Bewitched.
Yeah.
Colin Montgomery, who I never won a major, and I believe might have never won a PGA Tour event.
Those guys were both dicks.
Yes.
Colin Montgomery suggested that maybe it's time for Tiger to hang it up, and that sometimes athletes hang on too long, and it's painful to watch. So, this was a few days ago, and so I want to get your guys' thoughts on is he right? Because Tiger's not playing well. He's not in contention. He's still Tiger, so maybe he wins a major somewhere, but he's just not a guy that anybody is really betting on. So is Montgomery right that he might want to think about hanging it up? And should Colin Montgomery, the big nobody who never won anything, have just kept his mouth shut because he has no place to say anything. And Tiger's response, by the way, was, well, I've won this event, so I'm exempt until I'm 60.
Right.
So I can play if I fucking want to. He didn't say fucking, but so I can play as long as I want to. And he does have the right as a former winner.
Yeah. Remember when I said
that he enjoys, he can play as long as he wants.
Remember when I said that there's a third that people love to talk about still, and that is Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know what? Maybe rightfully so. Maybe he's earned that. Look, who cares? It's golf. Let him play. Let him play.
No one's stopping him.
Nobody asked Josh Donaldson to stop a couple of years ago.
No, they didn't. They didn't ask him to stop. Should have.
Yeah.
They didn't ask him to stop. But bases loaded, still one out, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Revel in it.
I'm not reveling. I'm just telling. I'm giving you an update.
Telling you, I'll make a friendly bet. At the end of the regular season, unless the Yankees do something miraculous at the trade deadline, which I don't think they will, I'm going to make two predictions. I think the Mets are going to have a better trade deadline than the Yankees, and I am going to make this prediction: the Mets will have a better record at the end of the regular season than the Yankees. You heard it right here. And that alone should be the firing of Brian Cashman.
You think?
Yes. Finally. And Boone. Sorry, Boone. You're all right.
He's doing. Boone does what they want him to do. He does what he is asked.
They need a big change over there.
Agreed.
And in the offseason, here's what you got to do. You have to do whatever it takes to sign Juan Soto. And then you have to go out and be creative and fill this team with capable support roles. And it ain't in your fucking coveted farm system.
Yeah, well, that's where he's been pulling from since all the farm system filled people that Stick Michael had in there that he was touted for bringing up.
Yeah. This ain't Posada, Rivera, and Jeter anymore, and Andy Pettit. They're not there. Yeah, and get rid of Gleyber Torres. I'll give you a list of people to get rid of. It's long.
You should give Brian Cashman a call and just have a little power.
Oh my God, 10. That would be like, you know how you could win, like, you know, a celebrity dinner or something like that. I'm such a fucking freak that 10 minutes with Brian Cashman would be, and he has to do at least one of the things that you suggest for him to do. That would be my dream. Yeah, be fantastic.
There you go. There you have it. All right. Well,
12-2 Mets.
12-2 Mets.
Yankees had a safety, and Mets missed a couple extra points. Close one.
Exactly. I gotta love it. All right. Anything else on football, Pete?
No, that's it. We're gonna what do we got? When is opening day? September what?
September 5th, I think.
It's a Thursday, usually, right?
September 5th.
Yeah.
September 5th. So we have 1, 2. We have a show. The third show from now is the day before opening day. So
let me look at the old calendar here. What's today? 24th.
Mm-hmm. We have a show on August 7th.
So we have a show on the August 7th,
August 21st.
21st.
And then September 4th, which is the day before opening day.
Ravens at Chiefs to start it all off.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And there's a show there's a show. There's a game that Friday too.
There is Packers at the Eagles. A lot of green.
Not at the Eagles.
That's right. A Friday game.
Yeah, Packers. At
all
the
right.
Eagles.
So
Packers and Eagles in Brazil.
Oh, I just noticed that. Okay, there you go. And then Sunday, there's a couple games. They still have games on Sunday.
They still have some games on Sunday. Yes, they do.
So here's what I think. On the 21st,
okay,
is the show before the show that's right before opening day of football.
Correct.
So I think on that day, I will reveal the magical pick system.
There you go. That
Right.
works.
Hey, we
And
get a
then-
Jets Monday night game.
We do.
And then on the day before opening day, we will make our first week picks.
Yep. We'll make our first week
That-
picks. Yep.
Right.
Sounds like a plan. Absolutely.
But
We'll do our prognostication and our predictions and our picks. That'll be that September
that'll
4th
be a
is an
football
all
show.
NFL
Right,
show
right. We'll pick the division winners and all that ridiculous
Right.
stuff that we
Exactly.
do.
that we do
The
every
stuff
year.
that I always win. And then
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
But so 2 weeks before that, I'll explain the system, give us
Mhm.
2 weeks to digest it and think about what our picks are going to be, and then we'll make it the day before opening.
Definitely sounds like a plan.
It's
awesome.
going to be fun. I really think this is going to be fun.
I can't wait to find out. We actually don't know, folks. He's keeping it from us too.
And I'm not
There
going to
you go.
give you any hints.
No hints. All right, cool. I'm looking forward to it. Cool. We got an over under, right?
All right. See you 2 weeks.
Well, you said you did.
Did I?
You did.
Oh, all right.
Is that it
yeah.
hanging up top right there? That little
No, that's sure. I got an over under.
If you don't, you don't.
I do. It's not
Is
a
that
very good one.
is
though.
that BB's?
It's a box of
No, it's
800,
vitamin D.
approximately 800 pills.
He's gonna count them all.
Start
Solid-
counting them. I'll see you guys next week.
No, but this is an unopened bottle of vitamin D.
Mhm.
How many does it say on the count?
All
It's either 250 or 500.
So it's 50 milligrams
right,
or 2,000 intravenous units
right.
of vitamin D3. I'm covering the count.
Of course.
The bottle, I don't know. Let me turn on a little bit more light here. I don't know if that'll help. You can see it's only filled up like not even halfway,
Yep.
right? Like this is kind of where it's filled to.
Yep.
But it is an unopened bottle.
Mhm.
So
Hold it up one more time. I can't really see. No, the front of it.
The front.
I want to see scale wise. All right. I
Gotcha.
don't know.
All right.
So the over under is
Is it
249 and a half.
well? Sometimes here's my thing: is that sometimes if it's a lower dosage, there's more pills, and if it's a higher dosage, it's less pills.
Okay.
Is it? What's the? I mean, I don't really know what D3 is. Is
Each
it-
one is 50 mcg is microgram, right?
Yeah, I don't know what I can't remember
So
what
do you
I
want to
take.
see one pill?
I think that's probably about average. Yeah, I want to see one pill.
I'll tell you right now. I'm going under.
What is the over under? What did you say it was?
249 and a half. I got to see this. It's closed. I got to take the top off.
249 and a half. Oh, I'm going to go over.
All right. Well, then you don't have to open it then.
Yeah.
Well, I already did.
I'm going under.
I
He's
think
going
it's probably 250
So
or
here's
350.
one.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going over.
All right.
And again, the bottle is as you saw. So
So you get a count?
Harry says over. John, you going under? Or you staying over?
I'm going over under. Like I said, under.
Under. Okay.
All right. I don't know if you can read it, but
No.
get it out here in the light. Oh, no, then it broke. This camera's so.
Tune in next week when the over under is revealed.
Hang on.
We trust you, Pete.
So was it 250 or was it 200?
It's 240.
Wow.
240. There you go.
That's fucked up.
There you go.
Yeah. See what you feel.
240. What kind of communist country is that?
240. There it is. 240.
Oh, good for you, John.
240 pills. There you go. All right.
I never knew that. I thought it always came in 250 or 300.
Yeah, it does. Seems like such a strange number.
I was fooled.
There we go. Nature's bounty. You know, my doctor says everyone has a vitamin D deficiency, or almost everyone.
Yeah,
Because no one goes out in the
take one all
sun.
time. Take one all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. No one goes out in the sun anymore and gets any sunlight. So
Nobody, cancer and if you have skin cancer, your D3 levels are probably okay.
right. All right, so that's over under.
All righty, I'm going to go cry under a rock and hope the Yankees can find some players, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
you heard it here first.
Do you want to bet on the record?
I told you. I think the Mets are going to.
Do you want to put something down?
Sure.
Because I'll take the Yankees having a better record.
All right.
How about a bottle of vitamin?
Bottle of vitamin D.
I'll trade you. I'll trade you my zinc tablets for your D3.
How about a log hat?
All right. I was going to give you guys one of those anyway.
Well, this will make it more interesting.
For anything I pick in that room.
I don't.
Now here's what I get. I want to give you a dart, and you have to throw it behind you, and whatever it sticks to, I get. I hope it's not old underwear.
Well, it's the yoga pants. The yoga pants.
Yeah.
All right. You know what?
That are standing up in the corner.
All right. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pull some fun stuff off of there. It isn't good for over under, but there's a few fun things in there, and you can see if one of them interests you.
By the way, my dream episode is that John and I are not involved at all, and it's just you going through that room,
sorting through the shelves.
I would watch that. It's way more interesting than
well, you know who his guest has to be, right?
You.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Marie Kondo. There you go.
Johnny
Kondo woman.
There you go.
Johnny Kondo sounds like somebody from Bayonne that sells real estate.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'll pull some stuff off the shelf, and you can pick something that you like.
Right.
The room is as interesting as it looks, Harry. I've sat in that chair.
Good. It's looking good these days. The left corner seems like it's precariously held together there.
Yeah.
Oh, this side?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a leather recliner under that pile.
There's a retaining wall that's been added.
Yeah,
so you can get to the
an old family pet somewhere under there as well.
The arm of the and
there's a child who's missing college right on
the recliner is a box full of wires, and if you just grab it and lift it up, the whole thing comes up. It's so tangled. It's a nightmare.
That's a show. The entire show, you got to do the whole show and talk everything we do, but while you're untangling those wires.
While I'm untangling
wires, yeah.
On that note, you know where to find us.
All right. On that note, we will wrap the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And, of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, which is now X, and Twitch every other Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, CastBox, Deezer, Podchaser, Raphonic. Pretty much anywhere you can find audio podcasts, you will find the Get On With It Sports Podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. And we will talk to you in a couple weeks, folks. Take care. Cheers.
I think the next over-under should be how many fucking platforms are we on?
Exactly. Because it's more than that. It's more than that.
Without counting.
Exactly.
Maybe, John, maybe you can do it for Harry and I.
There you go.
You can count them up and then do an over-under for us.
There you go. Well, we can do that. Yeah, we can work on that. All right. See you, folks.
Bye, everybody.
We're still on the air.
We are now.